Walk into any deer camp from Pennsylvania to Montana, and you are guaranteed to hear the same tired argument. It's usually some guy with a gray beard swearing that anything less than a .30 caliber is a toy, arguing with a kid who thinks ballistics didn't exist before 2007. It's the oldest debate in the American woods. But let's be real for a second. Nostalgia doesn't fill the freezer, and marketing hype doesn't drop an elk at 400 yards. Physics does. Terminal performance does. We aren't here to massage egos. We are here to rank the heavy hitters. We are going to cut through the noise and count down the top 5 hunting cartridges that have actually earned their stripes on North American soil. We're starting with the surgical instruments that changed the long-range game, and we're climbing the ladder all the way to the single, undisputed king, the one caliber that every serious hunter eventually circles back to. If you're looking for the one rifle that can do it all, stop guessing and listen up.
Let's rip the Band-Aid off. You knew this was coming. The 6.5 Creedmoor is basically the shooting world's version of the guy who brings an iPad to a construction site. The old-timers hate him, but he's getting the measurements right faster than anyone else. Here is the deal. This cartridge is the easy button. I was spotting for a buddy of mine last season. Guy had never shot past 200 yards in his life. He shows up with a Bergara B14, dialed in the dope we got off the box, and rang steel at 700 yards on his second shot. It's almost cheating. The recoil is so light you can watch your own vapor trail through the scope. But let's not drink the Kool-Aid too deep. It's a surgeon's scalpel, not a sledgehammer. It relies on placement. If you punch a bull elk in the shoulder blade at 400 yards, you might not get the penetration you need. It's finesse over force. It's the most shootable round on the market, but don't expect it to fix bad decision-making on big game.
If the Creedmoor is the new tech graduate, the 270 Winchester is the gray-haired foreman who's been building houses since the 1920s. This is the cartridge that Jack O'Connor used to rewrite the book on American hunting. The 270 is all about speed. It's a laser beam. I remember a hunt out in the open plains of Wyoming. The wind was whipping, cutting right through our layers. A mule deer stepped out at about 350 yards. With a slower round, you're doing advanced calculus in your head. With the 270, you just hold dead on and squeeze. The velocity creates a hydrostatic shock that shuts the lights out instantly. The trade-off? It's loud and it can be messy. That high velocity ruins a lot of meat if you hit the wrong spot at close range. It's not a brush gun. It's a sprinter designed for open ground. It's not trendy and nobody brags about it on Instagram, but it flat out works when the distance opens up. Now we're stepping up in weight class. The 7mm Rem Mag is what you grab when you're tired of tracking blood trails. This is the sniper of the hunting world. It takes that aerodynamic efficiency of the 6.5 and puts a Magnum engine behind it. This thing bucks the wind like it's not even there. I know a guide in Colorado who won't let his clients shoot elk across a canyon with anything less. He calls it the hammer. We're talking about carrying over 1,500 foot-pounds of energy way out past where most hunters have any business shooting. But you pay the tax for that performance. You need a long barrel, 24 or 26 inches to burn all that powder, which makes the rifle handle like a musket in tight timber. And the blast, it'll rattle your teeth if you forget your ear pro. Reality check. It's a specialized tool for big country. If you aren't shooting past 300 yards, you're just burning extra powder for noise.
If the 7mm is a sniper, the 300 Win Mag is a heavyweight boxer with brass knuckles. This is the gold standard for stopping power in North America. It's got military DNA, and it doesn't understand the concept of maybe. When you hit a target with a 180-grain slug moving at magnum speeds, the conversation is over. There is no "did I get him?" There is just processing. I've seen this round anchor moose that looked like they could shrug off a truck impact. It hits with authority that smaller calibers just can't replicate. Here is the ugly truth, though. It beats you up. Sitting at a bench to zero a lightweight 300 Win Mag is miserable. It kicks like a mule. I've seen grown men develop a flinch after 3 rounds, and a flinch makes you miss. It's overkill for whitetail, plain and simple. Reality check, it hurts on both ends. But when you're staring down something that can stomp you into the mud, you'll never wish you had a smaller gun.
And here we are, the king, the 30-06 Springfield. I know half of you are rolling your eyes right now. You wanted something exotic, you wanted a secret weapon, but I told you this wasn't about hype, it's about reality. The 30-06 is the boring, reliable, unshakable grandfather of modern ballistics. It has fought 2 world wars and put more meat in freezers than all the other cartridges on this list combined. Think of the 30-06 as the quintessential American pickup truck. It's not a Ferrari, it's not a tank, but it will haul whatever you need to haul, anywhere you need to go, every single time you turn the key. The superpower here is versatility. That is the magic word. You can load this thing down with 110-grain accelerators for varmints, or you can load it up with massive 220-grain round-nose bullets that hit like a freight train. Here is the gas station test. I was on a trip in rural Alaska a few years back, and a buddy of mine lost his ammo luggage at the airport. Nightmare scenario, right? We walked into a tiny general store that sold fishing bait and jerky. Sitting right there on the shelf between the chewing tobacco and the motor oil was a green and yellow box of 30-06 core locks. Trip saved. You cannot do that with a 6.5 PRC or a 28 Nosler. It strikes the perfect balance. It hits harder than the Creedmoor or the 270. It kicks significantly less than the 300 Win Mag. It sits right in that sweet spot where shootability meets stopping power. It's over 100 years old, and it's still the standard by which every other cartridge is measured. That is not nostalgia. That is dominance. If you can only own one rifle to survive, hunt, and defend, this is the one.
So what is the takeaway here? We live in an era of ballistics marketing that tries to sell you a solution to a problem you don't have. They want you to believe that a new case shape or a sharper shoulder angle will make you a better shooter. It won't. The 6.5 is great for recoil management. The 300 Win Mag is the king of distance, but you need to pick the tool that matches your terrain, not the magazine covers. Stop obsessing over feet per second and start obsessing over your trigger time. A hit with a 30-06 is infinitely better than a miss with a 30-100 Ultra Mag. I want to hear from you down in the comments. If you had to walk out your door tomorrow and never come back, which one of these 5 are you grabbing? Or did I miss your go-to caliber? Let me know. If you want more no-nonsense gear breakdowns without the fluff, lock it in right here. Stay safe, shoot straight.